I think inspiration comes when you least expect it, for sure. But I also think that when you try to force inspiration, you might actually be pushing it away. Because when you're looking to something for inspiration, you're kind of putting expectations on that thing to inspire you. And I think that's where you get into the weeds a little bit. At least that's where I do. I think when I create something that I'm really proud of, it usually comes from this feeling that I get in my soul that tells me that I have to make this thing, and if I don't do it, like, I won't survive, you know? It sounds pretentious and super dramatic, and I'm not necessarily talking about YouTube videos. I'm talking about certain things that I've done. Like the first slow hands deck was something that I felt I had to do it, you know? It had to be done, and I did it, and I'm so proud of it. And I don't know if this makes sense to everybody, you know, but I know for sure that it makes sense to some of you. And that's kind of what today's video is about how inspiration can sometimes come at random times and from the most inconsequential things, and they can really just be the seed, I guess, that turns into, you know, what could be your greatest idea. I don't know. All right, so here's the story. It was a weekday. I was sitting at my desk trying to think of an idea for a video. This is a pretty regular practice, something that I do a lot, and it felt good, especially because I had seen this thing on Instagram, and it was that Chris Ramsey put on his story, and it was a quote. It said, "Sometimes creative people need time to just sit around and do nothing." And that's kind of what it felt like I was doing, was just sitting around and doing nothing. I was trying to think of things that I could do for a video, and I was getting nowhere, let me tell you. I watched some of my old videos, I watched other videos trying to get inspired, and I was just coming up short every single time. It was frustrating, for sure. I usually try not to be on my phone too much during my work hours, you know? and during that time, I got a notification on my phone. It was an email that I was not expecting, and that's kind of where the story picks up. So I got a care package. I'm gonna call it a care package. Okay, so I got that from my buddy Brad Fulton, and if you don't know who that is, you can watch this video here. It's called "Who the Fuck is Brad Fulton?" And you can learn all about that. So Brad sent me a couple of things, and I opened the package and immediately got a little bit of inspiration. The Ace Fulton's Clip Joint 2021 deck, which I really, really love. If you guys want to see more about that deck, stay till the end of the video. And he also sent me the Fultonal deck. I think I'm saying that right. And that deck, I don't think I'm being dramatic when I say, is the whole reason I'm making this video. This deck is less of a deck of playing cards and more of a personal memoir. It's remarkable. It looks like a scrapbook of Brad's personal, intimate moments in the underground cardistry and custom playing card making scene. And this goes back years. That's certainly before most of you were interested in this kind of thing, certainly before I was. And it's fascinating stuff. I mean, the face cards of the deck are remarkable. They're film prints of photos that Brad has taken over the years, and this kind of collection of these moments. And I don't want to speak for Brad, but I really believe that just by looking through the photos, you can learn a lot about Brad just by owning this deck and just by looking at it. And I feel like I learned a lot about him. There's no way to not make all of this sound pretentious, so bear with me here. Sorry. When you're somebody who creates things, whether it's a deck of cards or a YouTube video or you knit or whatever you do, when you create things, you're putting pieces of yourself into it in order to make it. You have to. And when you create a project that's meant to be personal, you really have to be vulnerable and put your work out there and hope that people like it. And I mean, it helps when you're Brad Fulton and you have the built-in fan base, but this deck is art, and it's beyond playing cards. And picking up this deck was something else. It was I didn't just want to break it in and shuffle the cards all day long. I wanted to create something personal and something special. I wanted to tell a story because I was so inspired by the story that Brad was telling. Okay, pretentious rant over, I think. And I think that anything that you see, that you watch, that you hear, that you listen to, whatever, I think anything that can inspire you to do something big or something different or something scarier or more outside the box than you would normally do, I think that that's a good thing. I think that's a great thing. And you guys know, for those of you that watch all of my videos or have been following, I got out of reviewing decks of cards. I wanted to stop talking about cards in that way. I wanted to stop reviewing other people's work, and I wanted to make my videos a piece of my work, not a video talking about someone else's work, you know? It feels good when I create videos because I know that I'm creating them as a unit, as something, as a product. This video is a product of me. It's not necessarily a product review, you know? And, you know, but taking a look at this deck of cards made me want to go even a step further and go, what else could I do, you know? I've made decks of cards. I want to continue making decks of cards. I'll always be making YouTube videos, of course, but what else is out there? Is there a bigger project for me that I can really put my heart and soul into and hopefully have this exact effect on somebody else in 10 years? Again, I know not all of this is making sense to all of you, but for sure it is making sense to some of you. I see you right there. I'm looking right at you. Anyway, I loved the deck, and I think you can expect bigger things from me very soon. Maybe with Brad, maybe not. And if you're here till the end of the story, I guess I'm going to conclude with what I think is the point of this whole video. And that is, whoever you are as an individual, whoever you are to you, just be that, you know, because it's a small community and a lot of us are the same or seem the same. And I think that Brad just taught me that whatever your story is, whatever your deal is, whoever you specifically are, that is a good story. And it's worth telling in your own way. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I want to tell my story in the cardistry and magic community. And I think that some of the experiences I've had would be very entertaining, but I also think that some of them would be very inspiring. And some of them will just be mush. So I hope you guys understand why I felt I had to make this video. And I hope you dig it. And if you did, you know, I got to throw this in there somewhere. Like the video, okay? And if you're here for the clip joint footage, if you want to see a little trailer reel that I put together of those, then you can enjoy that right now. credits. End credits. By the way, this video is not sponsored by Ace Fulton or Brad Fulton. It's not sponsored by anybody. This was an independent video brought to you by me. By the way, Brad, if you're watching it, hopefully you make it all the way to the end, because this is the part where I say thank you so much for the inspiration, and thank you so much for the decks, and thank you for the things that you have done for me that you don't even know about because of how I interpreted your work. So this video is for you, bud, and I really hope that we can find our dream project together soon. And if not, you know, well, you'll always have a customer at least. All right. Good day, everyone. Bye.